Oh, welcome to the Car Connection Workshop. We're back at it here, getting this clutch pedal bushing taken care of. I took the liberty of making sure that the shaft was clean with a little bit of steel wool, and the rod itself is a little bit worn. It's obviously the bushing's been gone for some time, another component of neglect. So I got to go back in there. Thanks for stopping by. If you're looking to reduce your repair bills and keep your vehicle long-term, giving your engine and transmission super longevity and being part of the 300,000, 400,000, 600,000 kilometer club, you're on the right channel, because I can teach you everything you need to know. So this, if you're just joining us, the first part was replacing this bushing here. We'll get a good shot on it now that I've got it out of there. This bushing's been gone for quite some time. Look at how thin it is. And there's only half of it here. So the shaft itself has a little bit of wear on it. And here's the new one. We can do a comparison shot there, Skippy. There you go. That's what you got. It's just a freaking amazing thing, isn't it? Dear God. Who comes up with this crap? Anyways, if you missed it the first time, this is the correct part number from Dorman. I've used their products for years and relied on them. No, they don't sponsor the channel or this video, but they could if they wanted to. If they got in touch with me, send somebody, take me out for lunch or whatever. I bought a lot of Dorman products, but this is the right part, and you may see right here where my finger is, it says GM and Ford. Apparently this bushing is in other happy places on other vehicles as well as Chrysler. So let's get to it. I'll tell you what I'm going to do, and that is I'm going to use some of my Slippy Slide, another product I use. Huh? Yeah, it's all good. Blue Light Special. I like the Blue Plate Special, actually. They let you lick the gravy off the plate in the restaurant. Maybe they don't. Maybe they just allow me to do that. Anyways, going to use Sil Glide. I use this for a lot of products and repairs, especially for electrical brakes. You want to put a bolt in somewhere, you can put this on instead of anti-seize. Yeah, it's good. So I'm going to take a little blob here, about that big, about that many, as my niece would say. About that many, Uncle Niall, about that many. She's all grown up now. So I'm going underneath there. Please pray for me. It's tight. This is a miserable spot to be in on this Jeep, let me tell you. I've been under dashes. I've done a ton of dash work. This takes the cake. So we want to get this around the shaft. There's a stud that sticks out. Get some of this on there. Don't put that thing in dry. That's what I'm saying. And then make sure you get some in the shaft itself. Put it in there with your finger. Don't be afraid to get it on you, because this has been running dry and it's actually worn the rod a little bit. So hopefully, so now you want to put this in. It's going in this way. See how I got it facing? That's how it goes into the rod for the clutch. Okay, the clutch pedal push rod, it goes in this way, not this way. Okay? So, in other words, put the bushing in with the flatty end towards the radio, the opposite end towards the driver's side fender. That's the way it goes on. So you push it through, line it up for the shaftiola. That's a technical term. Yeah. And you're just supposed to be able to push that onto the shaft. And guess what? Can you say ta-da? Say ta-da with me, would you? Ta-da! We're in. Just give me a second. I leave my rib cage on the side of this freaking Jeep pod, tub, whatever. I'm going to call it a pod. I'll tell you, that edge there, that is not your friend. That cuts into you like you can't believe. So thank you to my friend Dale for giving me the stuffing out of her pillow. She said, I said, do you want it back? No. So when you're done, she says, when you're done with it, just put it in the garbage. I go, okay, where did you get it from? Did you pull that out of Santa's stomach? No comment. Anyways, so that's how I got this stuffing. But I'll tell you, that side piece, that cuts into you like butter. So now let's see what we got. We got more pedal now. So we've got an actual stroke. That feels really good. So I just hope that bushing will do its job. But I feel like I have really good pedal right now. Yeah. That feels really good. I think we're going to get a full stroke, which will give us, well, we can try it out. Why don't we try it out, you and I together here. We'll fire it up. And you might hear a little bit of a noise when I do fire it up because there's one adjustment that needs to be done. The scatter shield, it's not, I don't think it's quite in the right place, but I tried 3 or 4 times laying on my back to readjust it. So I decided to just kind of leave it until we get it up on the hoist where I can see things properly. And I got to take the whole belly pan down around the transmission anyway. I'll deal with whatever is preventing it from, I think the shield is just not quite in the right position. So let's see if we got a good clutch pedal now. We'll know in like 2 minutes. So we'll put that up there. Nothing in the way. I'm not going to hit my snowblower back there. I got another dead snowblower. It doesn't want to start. It used to start perfectly, and now it just doesn't want to start. So I can fix it. Let's see what that feels like. See if I get I feel like I got a good pedal on it now. Yeah. I feel like I got a pretty good stroke. So let's just make sure I got my foot on the brake pedal. Let's fire it up. Look at that. This thing hasn't run much since we got it back together, so you hear that there's a little bit of a noise there. That's the shield. I got the clutch in and I'm able to shift. I couldn't before. So that tells me we got a pretty decent stroke on this clutch. So let's see what we got. I'm going forward a bit. There we go. And a little on a reverse. I gotta watch it. I got my snowblower back there. Yeah, we're good. Problem solved. So who would think that little tiny plastic bushing would cause that much difference to the stroke on the clutch? Because we put a new slave cylinder in when I did the transmission overhaul. I did all that. Clutch, brand new clutch, pressure plate, throw bearing, pilot bearing, and a slave cylinder. I just did it all at once. Yeah, I got a really nice firm pedal here. So that just shows you how quick you can change something as small as that little bushing. So again, if you have a 97 Jeep TJ Wrangler to 2006, you're going to want to have one of those right in there. Because if that goes out on the trailer wherever you are, that is going to be a miserable git to take care of. Absolutely. So that's why I ordered 2. When I found out what that bushing did and how that worked, I'm going, yeah, you should probably have an extra one of those. But I will definitely bring you up to speed with the superseded version, which the pin underneath that comes out of the clutch pedal, and then the rod slips over like that. So then on this side, there's actually a groove there that you can put a Clevis pin in. I'll show you what a Clevis pin is, because being on working on farms, and my friend Charlie has 7 farms. So hey, Charlie, this video's for you, buddy. I'm making you a carrot cake So you got some sweets in your fridge in the farm shop, just so you know. So you this new bushing, and it's a bushing I'm used to seeing because it's on a lot of linkages, whether it's farm equipment, vehicles, lawn tractors. The bushing goes over, and then a spacer goes on here, a washer, and then you clip it. And the pin has a groove cut in it for that Clevis pin to go right in. So when I saw that, I'm going, is that clip really the right one? So you saw yourself as I took it out, that's definitely the clip. And that thing's a flimsy little doodad. So I'll show you what a Clevis pin is, but I will definitely order that other bushing. And it's not expensive. It's only a couple of bucks on the Jungle website. And I saw it when I looked up that part number on the Jungle website. That's where I got those two pieces from. I ordered them from the Jungle website. And I saw that bushing, and in the description it said it was for 97 TJ Wrangler to 2006. But it just showed you the bushing. It wasn't showing you the Clevis pin or a spacer. So I'll show you what those clips look like. Hey, how you doing? Well, that's because the key. I fixed that too, see? So the other thing I got to do is I think I can get to the instrument cluster by pulling off this tray here and get in through the back. But if not, it's 2 screws here, and then just lower this down out of the way. Then I get to the 2 screws here and the 3 screws on the top and take the instrument cluster cover off. But that light has to be working. That's for the high beams. High beams, and if you're flashing your girlfriend or something, Morse code. Yeah, maybe. No? Okay, maybe not. Yeah, we're being recorded for future reference for training. Just so you know, Skippy, I thought I better tell you that. Yeah, these are center caps for the original factory wheels, which I just put up in the attic. But we'll bring them down and we'll paint those, and I'll show you how to paint those rims and do a really nice job all by yourself. You'll save yourself. The cheapest I found locally to redo sport rims, and I've already acid washed them, so I've taken the sheen off. So it's just a matter of hand sanding them with some 000 steel wool, and you can buy the paint pre-mixed, and you can make those rims look amazing. So the cheapest I found was a company named Wheel Wizard, and I used them when I had the shop on the Hamilton Mountain in Hamilton, of course, and it was $150 a wheel. So I'm going to show you how you can do it for less than 20 bucks a wheel. How about that? And make them look really, really good. So the wheels are this color, and I have all 5 center caps that actually survived the neglect. I'll make the rims the same color, and you can order this color by, I'll get them to scan this, and they'll mix the paint in an aerosol, 2-part. So you don't have to do a paint plus a hardener. Comes out of the can, sprayable, and let it dry, and it looks stunning. So I'll show you how to do that. So if I can do it, you can do it. So what are we doing next? Oh, I'm going to show you that Clevis pin, because I probably will end up changing that clutch pedal bushing. I know you're saying, what, are you crazy? Yeah, I am. Those Clevis pins are very common in automotive, especially around linkages. So I keep an assortment of those little beggars in here. I haven't tagged this yet because I haven't decided where I want everything to be. And I want another one of these bins. So I put my rivets in here. They're organized. Here you go. This shows you exactly what I'm dealing with under there. Because here's the pin. Okay, so this is the pin that's through the clutch pedal. So on the other side, your rod goes over top of this, slides over. The pin under there has a groove in it. So whether it has a hole or a groove, this will slot right into the groove till it gets to here, and that ain't coming out. So the new one I saw online is you get a bushing. It looks like a top hat. This is already on the clutch pedal. So that bushing will go over top. Then you will put the clutch pedal rod over this. Then there's a spacer that goes on. It's just a washer. That's all it is. And I have a ton of them in a box down there. So just put that over. Put your pin through. Done. And that will last a long time. So when I'm going to order that and get probably 2 of them here. And then I'll label them and put them in one of my little bins. But that's all you're dealing with. Clevis pin, a washer, and a plastic bushing. And that's fixed. So that's what I call Clevis pins. This is actually a linch pin. That's a linch pin. So if you have a trailer or something, this is what you should have on there. When you put your lock down, you slip that through, or you put a lock on there. But we use those a lot. So till next time, happy motoring. Thanks for coming along for that nasty little fix, because that was a tough spot to lay in there long enough, and it's cutting right into your side, right into your rib cage. Even with that padding, it helped, but you could still feel the edge of the tub pushing into your rib cage while you're trying to get under there. To try and get in there with 2 hands, there's only one way you do it, and that would be to pull the driver's seat out, lay inside lengthways, and go under the dash. And I got stuck under a Mustang one time for 4 hours by myself, putting a clutch pedal and bracket in, because Ford had an issue where the clutch bracket broke and the clutch pedal fell in on its side. So I was under this, it was an 88, I think, Mustang. I ordered the replacement bracket and everything. I pulled out the driver's side seat, and I was laid in there like a sausage, and I got stuck. I'll tell you how it happened. I'm under there like this, putting that whole assembly in, the clutch pedal, the bracket and everything, and my elbows got stuck against the dash on the inside, and I couldn't bring my arms down. So I'm stuck under this freaking Mustang at like 8 o'clock at night in my shop for 4 hours till somebody stopped by to grab a cup of coffee off of me. And they're yelling for me, and I'm going, yeah, I'm in here. I can't get out. Where are you? I'm in the Mustang. They stood there and laughed at me for a few minutes. I said, my arms are kind of numb and pounding. I'd really like to get out of here. They helped me get out. I was in there good. I could not move my body to get my arms out. So I was totally trapped. So don't do that. Make sure somebody is with you so that doesn't happen to you. Because it could have been breakfast when somebody finally came by. So till next time, have fun. Happy, healthy motoring. Don't forget to visit our Car Connection Business Network website. That is the biggest toolbox we have in our biggest drawer. That's it. In our toolbox, where you can get all the information you need to like and follow and share on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Stevensvilleontheweb.ca. Click on the business tab to find our profile, iHeartRadio, and our Car Connection merch store. And grab yourself some Car Connection gear and help us help those who are struggling from addiction get to Total Freedom Addiction campuses in Canada or US, because a new life is waiting for them there. So help us do that. All our program partner logos are also on our homepage. Click on their logo and connect with them. And thank you for doing that. We'll see you in the next one. Bye for now. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. If you liked the video, like I know you did, ring the bell. Just get it done. Get notified when the next video comes out. See you in the next one. Gotta go.